What's up, everybody? This is going to be a Cup of Nations battle between Parthia, commanded by Lordmaur, and Epirus, commanded by Klayton. We're going to get in here. It's Nemesis Senna, so you can see Parthia on the left here, Epirus on the right. Right off the get-go, you can see 4 horse archers from Parthia, so that's a hefty force. We look around here, we have, looks like 3 Scythian or Sarmatian horse archers, a noble horse gen. That's going to be pretty powerful. Up in the middle here, we have a camel cataphract, and looks like 3 noble blood cav, so a kind of small melee cavalry force. Slingers here, 1, 2, 3, 4 slingers, so that should add to the missile capability. And finally a double line, looks like a Parthian swordsman, of which there are, looks like 3. Looks like also 3 hoplites, mercenary hoplites there, with a experience chevron, and 2 hillmen. So, have that going. Very interesting. A lot of balance in this army, I've got to say from the beginning. Let's look up at the Epirus army here. Looks like there's going to be 5 slingers, and actually some Rhodians here. So 3 Rhodian slingers. So that's a very powerful missile force, actually beating the Parthian head-to-head, but there are horse archers on the field. Now we can also see, looks like 3 skirmisher cavalry, and that actually works very nicely in counteracting those horse archers. It's going to be hard for his horse archers to pick off better targets than these cheap skirmisher cav. And honestly, the horse archers killing the skirmisher cav is not even a good trade, I would say. The skirmisher cav are about as cheap. Then for the main line here, we're going to have a line of levy pikemen. So 3 levy pikes, and then a royal peltis, 3 Samnite warriors, and a mercenary tally swordman with devil chevron, and 4 Thessalian cav to back it up. So we can see the idea right off the bat from Epirus here is going to be, let's win the missile fight with our skirmisher cav and our superior slingers, with the idea of those 3 Rhodians, and then we'll use our pikemen just to win the infantry fight, and the cavalry should be useless. And actually, the cav fight is pretty even. I would say Parthia does have the edge, but the Thessalians can get some good engagements against these noble blood cav and cause a lot of damage. However, this camel cataphract is going to be the deciding factor there, so that has to be used well. A lot more infantry for Epirus, as probably to expect, but the quality of infantry is going to be pretty even. The Samnites and the Parthian swords, Samnites should get the better of that engagement. However, this royal peltis will be a huge threat for the Parthian to deal with. But it could get shot down by missiles. Royal peltis very weak against missiles. Skirmisher cavalry getting the worst of this engagement for sure. You can see 1 down to 41, 1 down to 50, 48. Oh, taking so much fire here. Yeah, losing so many. The Parthian horse archers here have not lost nearly any men. 1 man there. But the missile fight's going down, and look at this. This is exactly what Parthia does not want, and exactly what Epirus wants. Look, the horse archers, not a factor in this fight at all. They're getting chased off the field by these skirmisher cav, and by the time they get back to the battle, having killed off these skirmisher cav, the missile fight will be over, and it'll be too late. Here comes the Samnite warriors here. You're going to just pressure these hillmen, and look, they're wasting their precious javelins on these Samnite warriors with their 95 armor, not on these pikes. That's a huge error here. Getting shot in the rear as well. Brilliant play from Klayton here, forcing unnecessary casualties to those hillmen. Meanwhile, it looks like the slingers are mostly dead. He's going to try to keep them coming back, and here, a Thessalian cav caught. And that's a huge mistake for Klayton. This could be turning badly. However, he will lose a hillman. That's a good start. But this Thessalian cav, he's actually going to try to engage another one. I'm not sure if I agree, because the support here is not very close. Look at all this Parthians in support here. I'm not sure that this will go well. He's going to kill maybe this noble blood cav, but his general got out. Noble blood in support, didn't get charged. This is a terrible engagement. Should not have committed. You're okay losing this 1 Thessalian cav because you've killed the enemy slingers so horrendously. Looks like they killed the other hillman, or at least did massive damage to it. And in fact, it looks like the hillman, let me just slingers. Maybe the hillman, yeah, hillman did die. Meanwhile, the back lines here, skirmisher cav trying to catch out this Sarmatian horse archer. Good trade here because they're going to die anyway. And if he gets this other one here before this guy routes, could win this fight. But 41 against 30, winnable. However, this noble blood cav here going to take the one-on-one engagement against the Sarmatian, or Thessalian, what am I saying? Thessalian cav going to charge in here, should get the better of this engagement. That's a good charge. This Thessalian did block both these guys here. That's a Parthian swords and a hoplite going to get charged in by these Sarmatians. This should be a really good fight here. But the real question is, what are the pikes going to be used for in this situation? They're not being used defensively. You have to push forward with them, and that could be bad. But here, hoplites, and they'll lose to the Samnites? Probably. They're getting focused down a little bit, though. Support, though, from these slingers should win it out. I really like the slinger capabilities in the late game for Epirus. They're going to be able to box up with their pikes if they can't do anything about it. But they do have horse archers, 2 horse archers left on the field here, and depending on who wins this fight, looks like the horse archers will. So you're going to have at least two horse archers and the remnants of some slingers left over. But the problem here is the cavalry fight was mercilessly lost by Epirus. Pretty much no cav remains. These Thessalians, though, on this flank, have done well, and now they're going to need to be the key factor in what returns. Hillman, or Parthian swords, will get off a javelin volley. That's deadly. I'm not liking the chances for Parthia here, I've got to be honest. They won the cav fight on the right flank, but not well. But this camel cannon is still alive. Could do massive damage to these royal peltists. They've gotta go for this charge here. I don't care that the pikes are here, they're too far back. Look at these royal peltists on the flank here. Now he brings up his pikeman and he's losing opportunity. He could flank in here. He's going for the slingers early. This could be a good play. I like that idea. Not many Thessalians are left alive, so he's got to come and counteract. He's got to save his slingers. But his Rhodians were on the left flank, and they're going to die here, unless these Samnites can come and save them. The other slingers will focus them down, but they're being focused simultaneously by these eastern slingers, who will do a lot of damage to these Rhodians. Not a good trade. Slingers are being routed here, and here's the main fight. Pikemen getting focused down. They won't be any help. And here's what I said earlier. Royal Peltis weak against missiles, exhausted from using the whip. Should bruise the strategist general there. And these noble horse archers are raining death. 52 kills. They're probably on heavy shot. Not on heavy shot. That would do even more damage. But they're doing massive damage. These Royal Peltis are going to die. General is out of the field. And suddenly the field gets a lot better for Parthia. But it's still not great. Slingers remain. And these Rhodians did a massive job, I have to say, in staying alive for these Thessalians to kill the noble blood off. A full slinger here. And crucially, 2 pikemen. How is Parthia going to deal with that? We gotta see. Samnites charge in here, and the idea here is the pikes should get a lot of kills coming in late, or you can pull your Samnites back through the pikes. That should be fine. Parthia, though, has to deal with this quickly. These Samnites are such a nuisance. They're not dying. The Camel Cataphract charged in, but they need to not focus this unit. It doesn't matter. You have to get around the flank here and deal with these Epirite units here, come in through here, and then kill off any remaining slingers and come into there. That is the key to the battle right now. Parthia has slingers in reserve. Oh, but this noble blood cav doing so much damage into the rear here. This battle is crucial. These pikemen are levy pikes. They're gonna rout perhaps. And if they didn't rout here, I would honestly think the Samnites would win this battle. 70 men and 100 pikemen. But this noble blood has done so much damage. They're actually gonna win this fight here. And now it's hopeless for Epirus. The death of the general, which I presume happened right around then because the morale was so low, was a crucial mistake. I think Klayton committed too much into this fight because he only had 1 Royal Peltis and 2 Cav against the entire right flank of the Parthian force, and that was a huge mistake. It really allowed the Parthians to make the best of a bad situation after losing this Hillman. Epirus lost a Thessalian over here, but that wasn't really too bad considering his Thessalians on his right were overrunning the left flank noble blood cav of Parthia and Lordmaur. But anyway, this is going to definitely go for Parthia now. He managed to keep his slingers actually very healthy and did a good job of using his superior cavalry forces after Klayton committed 2 of his 4 Thessalians over here. He had a lot more cav, was able to use them very wisely. And we can see just the remnants of the forces here. And, well, if they rout here, if he routs this force, I could still see a chance. And there's still a chance, but his army is going to rout here. I was thinking maybe a skirmisher cav could get in, but there's an entire cavalry in here. This could probably win the battle by itself. So that was a really close game and very interesting swings of momentum. We're going to look at the kills here and let's see. Yeah, these are some incredible performances from Lordmaur's cav. Like you can see his infantry barely did anything. This mercenary hoplite maybe killed some cheaper units. But look at these kills. Double chevron on these camel cataphracts, 180 kills. Horse archers lose no men, had ammo left and 140 kills. Brilliant. Horse archers, the Sarmatians, were not a big factor. They got chased off the field by smart play from Klayton bringing these skirmisher cav. So that was a good counter, but look at these noble blood cav. Jesus Christ, 119, 214 kills. And you can see from the XP ranks that they were killing important units, so that's very valuable. Again, infantry did very little. Slingers didn't do much, but it was crucial that they stayed on the field in case of a pike box later on. On this side, Royal Peltis, I think, were wasted. Engaging against cavalry is not where Royal Peltis want to be, especially with horse archers shooting in the back. That is not going to be optimal. Samnites did brilliantly. I think they got a lot of cheap kills, but they were winning the main fight against the Parthian swords. You can see didn't do anything. Pikes were wasted. I think he ended up because he had so much success, I think, fleeing or pushing it back anyway, the enemy horse archers, his pikes were forced to become offensive, and I think that's not really what he wanted them to be for. I really think his initial strategy was win the missile fight and just play defensively, but he started getting aggressive with his Sicilians on both sides. On his right, he had success, and his infantry were getting the better of the Parthian swords thanks to the Thessalian charge, especially on that right flank. So I really think that the pikes were ended up being useless, and to be honest, they could have been really helpful in blocking rear charges, but they were forced to engage frontally, so they got surrounded pretty much. Skirmisher Cap did really well. You can see them getting about equal kills almost to the Sarmatian Horse Archers, which is really great for Jab Cav, and they did what they needed to do in killing all the Sarmatian Horse Archers, so really well done to them, and I think the Sicilians also did a little bit of work chasing down the Horse Archers at the end of the game there. Italian Sword with 150 kills, that's excellent. I think it started with the Chevron or two though, but still 150 kills, always good. Rhodians did really well. You can see the difference here between how much work the Rhodians were doing, because Slingers will not kill Eastern Slingers. They're so bad at it. Rhodians, though, so much better, and they did a lot of work, but they got focused down by the cavalry of Lordmaur too early in the match there for them to make impact in the late game. So that's why that happened. I think in the end, I think Parthia played a really smart game. They baited in those Sicilians, won the right flank, and just pulled away on their left where they lost, and was able to get the victory in part, and mostly due to their cavalry arm, which was impressive. So yeah, that was a good game. Thanks for watching. See you next time.